What's up, guys? First of all, I want to share this really cool tree I found with you. It looks like there's a giant eyeball in it that's just kind of surveying over the universe, knowing all of the ancient secrets that us puny humans will never be able to comprehend. I just thought it was cool. I wanted to share that with you guys. Wouldn't it be neat if that was the whole video? But really, I did want to share a topic with you guys sort of about believing in yourself, or believing that you do deserve actually having good things in life and good things happen to you. Because I went through a very rough experience throughout, well, the last decade in particular, but I would say that most of my 20s were pretty much a really rough ride dealing with depression and a whole bunch of other like horrible things that were happening and going on. So I thought I would make this video and share some of my perspectives and conclusions I came to with that, and then it might be able to help you on your journey. If you agree, if you disagree, that's all right either way, but it might give you a hand and help you out, and then if not, it might create some good discussion in the comments anyways. So one thing that I wanted to share was this idea of being able to believe in yourself, believing you can accomplish things, and even more so than that, that you deserve the good things that you get in return. I think a lot of times when you deal with depression and anxious thoughts and things of that nature, you just don't feel like you ever deserve any good thing that happens. Like, you ever notice that depression seems to be like the default state that you have? So you're not paying attention to it. Say you actually manage to get out of your head and you ground yourself a bit and you're having a good time and you're enjoying an experience, or you're having fun with your friends, or you're watching a really great movie or reading a really great manga or book, or you're just out in the forest just enjoying the sun and just simple shit, sun, dirt, trees. All those things are awesome. And then all of a sudden it hits you like a wave, where all of a sudden you remind yourself, wait, I shouldn't be feeling good. I should be feeling depressed. I am a depressed person. Remember all of these horrible things that are happening? Remember all this horrible shit that is in your life? How dare you be happy? And then it resets you, and then your mind connects to these different patterns that go into all of these depressive zones that bring you back down into that state. And if you find that that's happening to you, I think that you really need to take a look at the particular thoughts that are dragging you there, because there is a pattern. There's Joe Dispenza explains it very well in his book, Becoming Supernatural. I would really recommend reading that book, especially if you're looking to kind of progress in the future and try to get out of that depressive zone that you're in. Really would recommend that book. But he basically describes it as our brain has a pattern that it follows in order to take us back to a traumatic event. So you begin thinking about one thing, and that can lead you into these downward spirals where it just zaps you into a memory, which zaps you into a feeling. Then you feel that feeling in real time as if it's still happening. It's sort of like how PTSD works as well, where something triggers them and it takes them back to the memory, and the memory recounts the emotion and the feeling, and then you feel that in your body as if it's still happening. So you become scared, frightened, anxious, even though you have nothing to be scared, frightened, anxious about now. It happens because it already had happened, and your body is remembering the trauma and reenacting that trauma. Because like your brain doesn't know the difference between a very powerful memory and something happening really, like right now. It's kind of scary when you think about it. It's like how much of our perception is real, but that's like a whole separate topic. So, but the thing about it is that you were already experiencing good thoughts. You were already experiencing happiness. You were already, being happy in the moment. And then those triggers took you back, or see, I can't think of the word I'm thinking of. The response is that I should not be feeling happy. I should be feeling depressed. I am a depressed person. Of course, I need to be feeling depressed right now. But you're giving more precedence to that thought than you were just being present, being in the moment, enjoying the happy moment. And I think it comes back to the idea of what you think about yourself and what you deserve in life. Because if you'll notice, there probably is actually really good things that are happening, but your like reticular activation system, what you focus on, your primal focus, goes back to the negative. If you ever see the movie The Number 23 with Jim Carrey, he becomes like obsessed with this number 23 and he starts seeing it everywhere. It's like, if you believe in something so strongly, or you need this thing to be true, or you're super hyper focused on something, you're going to see it everywhere. This is why people that make their entire identity their political affiliation see every situation through that political lens. Same thing with any type of ideology that completely overtakes you and doesn't allow you to be like a free thinking person. It's like you see everything through that lens, called Reticular Activation System. Look it up. Shit will blow your mind. And so what's happening here is that you are capable of experiencing happy things. You are experiencing good things in life, but that reticular activation system is holding you back. So the trick is, I hate to call it a trick. I don't know. It takes a lot of practice. All right. It's not just like a magic switch. It's not just something that is just going to happen overnight. It's something that you have to pay attention to what you're focusing on. So the second that negative thought kind of tries to come back in and reshape you into redirecting your focus back into the negative, you have to be able to put up that wall, put up that barrier, and refocus on the positive. And I know it sounds like super cheesy, super like woo-woo, whatever, but it's true that you basically become what you believe. You know, if you think it enough, if you speak it enough, it sort of shapes your reality. So the more that you recount how depressed you are, the more you say how depressed you are, the more you talk about it, the more you create it into being real. And your body wants to bring you back down. That's dark energy, that's negative energy. We talked about this in my other Real Talk videos, where it's very addictive and it's very magnetic, where it just calls to other dark energy and continues to bring you down. So you have to be able to put up walls, put up barriers, and not allow yourself to focus into that. And focus back onto the positive. What were the things that were making you happy, even if it was as simple as the sun, the dirt, the river? You know, these things, they're natural. This is what human beings were supposed to grow up around, you know. Even though we've been industrialized into a capitalist system, like when it comes down to it, we feel the most at peace when we're in nature, because this is how we've evolved over millions of years to be. So get out into nature. It's very good for you. The other thing that I want you to recognize is that when it comes to what you deserve in life, is it's not up to you. It's not up to you what you deserve. That is something that causality will give you, right? I believe in causality more than I believe in fate, because fate is sort of like things are predetermined, whereas causality is like the likelihood of something happening, where this will happen, which will cause a chain reaction that will make this happen, that will make this happen, that will make this happen. Causality makes more sense to me. And, you know, the universe is indifferent. I don't believe there's an ultimate force of good and an ultimate force of evil. I think these are just words that human beings attribute to things. I think that the scariest or perhaps most liberating thing about the universe is that it's indifferent, is that it doesn't care. There's no dark agenda, there is no light agenda. Things just are. Things just happen. Causality, one thing leads to another. Life is just life. You know, we attribute, got a notification. We attribute, you know, these terms to it, but really things are just happening. You know, the bird eats the fish, the bird flies away. This is just life. What was I saying? I lost my train of thought when that notification came up. Okay, so if life is indifferent, this can mean horrible things, right? It can mean that really bad people are rewarded. It can mean that really good people are shit on for their entire lives. Like, this is also true. However, it also does mean that there's nothing inherently in the universe out to get you, which means you have the potential to rise above it. You have the potential to not allow it to destroy you. You have the potential to become anything and do anything that you want in life. It's just going to be an extremely difficult path to get there. It's not easy. Nothing in life is easy. You know, life is pain, life is struggle, but I think once you just embrace that, and just understand that life is going to be pain, life is going to be suffering. You know, without suffering, you wouldn't have, how do I want to put this? Without pain and without suffering, the victory wouldn't be as sweet. You know, things are valuable because they're rare. It is very rare to be able to rise above all of this and not let the negative and dark energy just completely overtake you. And if you can do that, even if it's just, you know, once, twice a week on a consistent basis, all of a sudden you're doing it day to day, you know, the more that you rise up, the sweeter it's going to be. You know, that's what makes these moments so special. And that's why when you do feel happy and when you are in those moments, when you are having moments with your friends or in a relationship or just enjoying the solitude of yourself, whatever it may be. You have to embrace those moments as much as you can while you're in them. Feel that happiness the same way that your body is going to remember that traumatic energy. It's also going to remember that that fulfilling energy too. And you can bring yourself back to that. You can connect to it through the patterns the same way that you can with the negative. And so what you get out of life may or may not be what you quote unquote deserve, what you feel like you deserve, but that doesn't matter because it's indifferent. So it's going to give you, it's going to give you what is available to put in, to give you. You know, some people have way more difficult lives than others. Some people are born under horrible circumstances. You know, some people, it almost is almost inescapable. And it's tragic, you know, it really is tragic what some people fall into. But as long as you have an opportunity and you have an awareness, you know, it's possible for you to continue to move forward past it. You know, it is true, it's cheesy, but it's true. You know, you have lived 100% of the days that you thought you wouldn't. So you've already done it, you know, you've already managed to survive through it all. Why not go further? So I hope that helps, guys, and maybe you could look at it from a depressing point of view, but I look at the indifference of the universe as a complete blank slate, as a complete opportunity, you know, and to allow yourself to feel those good feelings. Don't worry about what you deserve. The universe will hand you what it hands you. Work with what you got. Continue moving forward. And, you know, I wish you guys all the best. So I hope this helps somebody out there. I know that my thoughts are a little bit scattered. I'm a lot better when I write things down than when I'm off the cuff, but, you know, enjoy it, man. Enjoy it. We only get this ride once.